Welcome to this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. I am Lukas DeGarmo alongside Travis Whipple, and as you can see, we're coming to you from the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome here in the Twin Cities, Mall of America Field, where the Winona State baseball team, Travis, will be playing Sunday night at 7 o'clock and then also next Friday and Saturday, so they'll be playing a lot of indoor baseball.
Great opportunity to come up, play at a very nice venue. You know, unfortunately, those games scheduled for Warrensburg, Missouri, down in Central Missouri got weathered out, so to speak, and so now opportunity to come up, play St. Cloud, and then the following weekend Wayne State.
Starting with Winona State University gymnastics, again dominating. They defeated the University of Wisconsin Whitewater in their previous meet.
Yeah, it was you know, the team's best performance of the year score-wise. Certainly a number of individuals came up huge in this one. Whitewater's a nationally ranked opponent, so this was an outstanding win. And you look at people like Anna Gleason, great student athletes. She had 3 individual career highs, won the floor, second on the uneven parallel bars as well as the balance beam. So great efforts by her. Katie Gregory had a career high on the floor exercise as well, and so they continue to do well. And you know, as I mentioned, a season high for them as a team.
Next meet for the Winona State gymnastics team is February 19th across the river at the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse at 7 p.m. And then the next home meet, February 22nd against Hamlin at 6:30 p.m. at Memorial Hall. Moving on now to women's basketball. Tough road weekend, the toughest road weekend opponent-wise you can face for women's basketball in this conference. Wayne State, Augustana, both teams ranked high among the region teams. Winona State women lost 2 games, went 0-2. And you know, they lost a tough game to Wayne State on Friday and a tough game to Augustana the next night on Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned a very tough road trip. You know, certainly 2 very good opponents, and both teams I thought played very well over the weekend. You know, certainly at Wayne, it's a situation where Coach Ballard has, as head coach at Winona State, has actually defeated Wayne every time until this one. So, you know, they certainly had things figured out. A very tough zone that Wayne plays. You know, I thought maybe just weren't quite aggressive enough going to the basket, maybe settled for the outside shot a little bit. And I really think transition defense, too, all weekend was a key and something they need to improve going down the stretch here. But, you know, I think some other things to look at. Wayne went on a late 14-4 run, which really kind of sealed the deal. And then I think also looking at the free throws, Wayne was 14 of 16 from the line, and Winona State only went to the line like 5 times. So, again, maybe not being quite as aggressive going to the basket. 3 Warriors in double figures, McDonald, Wirtz, and Giggler. You know, Giggler I thought played well all weekend. Both games scored double figures. So. And
stepping up with Bonnie Bjorky not being able to be at 100% on the road weekend was Natalie Giggler. And then Saturday night I mentioned Winona State women lost to Augustana in a tough game where they did not play their best basketball game.
Didn't play their best, and I'll go back to transition defense and defense as well. You know, gave up 52 points in that first half, which you can't do in NSIC basketball. You're not going to come out victorious. And then obviously the fast break points too. 22 fast break points scored by Augustana in that game. That's just too many.
Yeah, and Augie started 0 of 8 from the 3-point line and then ended up for the game shooting around 50%. So they just ran into a red-hot team in Augustana, which, you know, they scored 91 points on Winona State, Travis, and then the night before against Upper Iowa, obviously a struggling Peacock team, but they scored 104 points. So they were just on a scoring tear, so a tough time to run into Augustana for Winona State. Next game for the Warrior women, February 20th at Bemidji State at 2 o'clock p.m. Men will follow at 4 o'clock p.m. from Bemidji. And then the next home game will be next Wednesday, February 24th against Upper Iowa, and then the home finale will be Saturday against St. Cloud State. So that'll be a huge game for both the Warrior men and women. Moving on now to men's basketball, a pretty good road trip for the men. It could have been a little bit better though. They split 1-1, beat Wayne State in a very low-scoring game, and then lost a tough buzzer beater to Augustana at the Elman Center.
Yeah, you know, I thought, you know, they definitely took care of business at Wayne, got the win that they needed, and, you know, that win at Augie would have been huge, I think, in a lot of regional rankings, conference standings, all that. But, you know, overall, though, I really believe that they're getting better and better as the year progresses, and that's exactly what you want to see. I don't think we've seen their best basketball yet, and that's good news, I think. You know, peaking towards the end of the year is critical, but, you know, you look back at that one at Wayne first, you know, probably didn't have their best shooting performance, especially from outside. They struggled a little bit. Struggled actually on the free throw line, I think, all weekend, and however, coming into it, we're the best team in the NSIC in that category. So, you know, I think those are areas to continue to improve on as they move forward.
You mentioned the Wayne State game, and then Saturday night at the Almond Center, Winona State loses 82-81 in a game where Winona State really dominated for 35 minutes, and then that final 5 minutes, they blew a 16-point lead with 7 minutes to go, and thanks to a freshman phenom for Augustana, Cameron McCaffrey, coming off the bench. He had 20 second-half points and hit, with 0.3 of a second left, he hit a circus floater inside the perimeter and gave Augustana the lead.
You know, I really believe it was one of their best performances of the year for about 35 minutes. Yeah. And, you know, unfortunately in the NSIC, you've got to put together that full 40 minutes to get a win. You know, I think some credit goes to Augustana, though, going 12 of 12 in the last 6 minutes from the floor. I mean, obviously they made some shots, made some big plays, and, you know, at the end of the day, you hope you do everything that you can, and if somebody makes a big shot, give them credit.
Johnson had 24 points, but Clayton Vetty had 18 points, and maybe his best performance of the season. And that's good news when a big man is, you know, going to step up here, hopefully down the stretch for the Warriors.
Yeah, they need them. They need all their big guys to step up and play well. I thought it was good to see that 4 players in double figures. I mean, that's the kind of balance you're looking for. Again, I think everything that happened within that game until the last couple minutes was exactly what you want.
Same with the women. The Warrior men will play Bemidji State February 20th, tipping off at 4 p.m. following the women's game, and then Wednesday, February 24th, of course, against Upper Iowa on a Wednesday night against the Peacocks at McCowan Gymnasium, and then with the home finale, which could be a colossal game for the Warrior men. St. Cloud State coming into town, especially with St. Cloud beating Mankato this past weekend. Moving on now to Winona State women's track and field. They're ranked 16th in the nation by the Coaches Association. Yeah,
they're having an outstanding year, and I think we've talked about it a number of weeks here, is that you know, they really do have a great balance to their team. The field athletes, the sprinters, you know, everybody's doing well and really contributing. This past week they had a couple of different meets going on. One was the Cardinal Open at St. Mary's, I should say, which is as close to Winona as you can get. And then the other one was down at University of Iowa. So a couple of great opponents and meets for the track and field team.
Next up for Warrior women's track and field, February 19th, they travel across the river to take on the University of Wisconsin lacrosse at 4:30 p.m. And then February 26th, there's the NSIC Indoor Championships at Minnesota State University Mankato. Moving on, lastly, to women's tennis at Winona State. They had a 9-0 win against Bethany Lutheran, but then were defeated by a conference rival for tennis, 7-2 by St. Cloud State.
Well, St. Cloud State, you know, you got to have hats off to them because they won the NSIC last year. They also won the conference tournament. That's a very good team. You know, Winona State's got some young freshmen that I think are really going to continue to develop throughout the season and really come together. This is a good team, I believe, and you know, you showed it. They bounced back after the win against St. Cloud, or after the loss against St. Cloud, and beat Bethany Lutheran. That shows a lot. They came out and won 9-0. So I think looking forward to some good things from this team coming.
Winona State baseball will have some big games. Sunday, February 21st, they'll be here at the Metrodome Sunday at 7 p.m. to take on St. Cloud State, and then February 26th versus Wayne State, 12:15. First pitch for that one, and on February 27th, they'll play Wayne State at 7:30 at the Metrodome, and on Friday night, February 26th, we'll be streaming the games live via just like the gymnastics meet, so that's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting to be able to provide not only volleyball, women's and men's basketball on our website, but also branch out, do some different ones, baseball, softball, gymnastics, as you mentioned. So yeah, come on, log on to WinonaStateWarriors.com. You know, there'll be a drop-down ad to click through and watch the game.
And then softball has a trip to Kearney, Nebraska. That was canceled due to weather, so they will begin March 5th down in Orlando, Florida, where it's a lot warmer than it is up here in Minnesota. But again, baseball will be here at the Metrodome. And we came to you from the Metrodome. For Travis Whipple, I'm Lukas DeGarmo. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. It's a great day to be a Warrior.